my last question before we get out of here. Do you believe you fully heal from wounds and trauma, or do you learn to just live with it?
I think it's the latter. You learn to move around it. You
Mhm.
never get over something. You just learn to adapt to it.
That's how I felt. I felt like it's just always going to be with you. I think you might go on to it where you feel like you healed from it, and then something might trigger something, and boom, it reopen the wound or reopen that trauma in your head. I agree. I feel the same way.
I would say one thing I'll add to that is EMDR. If anybody is like interested in therapy and they have trauma that feels like it's like stuck and like deep rooted, EMDR is really good because it helps you reprocess the trauma. So kind of the same idea is like things might come up and trigger you, but your response to it is different. It could take from like 6 months to a year, if longer, and you notice that after like you ask them like how distressing is that memory, and they're like honestly it's not distressing anymore. Like it's not as impactful to them once they process it again.
Do you feel like that's what they're doing when adults choose to distance themselves from their parents because of the trauma that they experience with those parents?
No, I think that's avoidant. And it's not a bad avoidant. Like some like you have to have I always talk about control a lot too in my sessions where like what do we have control over? Like you can't control your parents. Like you cannot make anyone parents or not change. And what do you have control over? All you do have control over is your relationship with them. So cutting them off is that control. But I don't think that it's healing anything because there is no processing, there's nothing. It's just acceptance that this is who they are, and in some capacity you don't have to deal with them. Kind of like what Magic said in terms of like if that trauma or that thing re-triggers you, your parent can always re-trigger you, right? But if you sever that communication, it's you basically saying like I'm preventing you from triggering me in the future. So I don't feel like you're really, I don't want to say you're not healing and you're not doing the work. I think you're choosing yourself and you're taking control back. Communication is so vital. I think we've all experienced like being ghosted or having a friendship or relationship die off. I I stress this in my communication with my clients, my friends, myself. You have to communicate, right? Nothing gets solved without communication. And if you want your relationships to look the way that you show up, you have to communicate.